Hello, hello. Just going to zoom in just a little bit. Get myself set up. I'm going to close my windows because, of course, we're going to have more traffic. But it's a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. Well, good morning, Anthony. My goodness. You were like right there. How are you doing? Let me know if you can hear and see me. I'm going to real quick shut this window. I hope everything is well. Let's see. So, not really sure. Um, I didn't really decide until like 10 minutes ago what, well, I shouldn't say 10 minutes ago, like 4 o'clock this morning, what I was going to do today. So, we are just literally going to have a play, making some ephemera. Whether it makes it onto cards, whether it makes it into a journal, it can go either way. So that's what we're going to do. Um, I am doing very well. Lots, very better. Yes, yes. Thank you, Anthony. Um, so yesterday, if you guys missed it, make sure you go to Biddy Penny's channel. Um, we did a live together yesterday, and of course there was all kinds of technical issues. I was freezing, she was freezing, but we never froze together. So it seems. And she taught me how to do what she calls the 3-minute journal. I remember seeing this, um, but that's what she is calling it. And kind of I got into it after a while. Now, of course, she can make these in her sleep, so she got more things done than I did. So I'm going to real quick do a flip through because when we were live, you can only see part of our screens. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? Um, we can only see part of our screen. So she had suggested firmly um, that I do a flip through of them. So again, 3-minute journal, and yeah, they pretty much do go together in 3 minutes. Of course, once they're together, now you're going to add your embellishments. That takes longer than 3 minutes. You just use 3 pieces of cardstock. So these are mine. So I encourage you to go back to her channel, check out that live that we did yesterday. So I added a belly band to mine, and then you can see, we've got these cuts. We have little pockets. We have a piece of ephemera that's glued on the page that's sticking out just to add some interest. More pockets with some scraps, scrap coffee dyed papers. This is a double torn pocket. Another pocket with a scrap piece in there. Another scrap, another pocket. So lots of pockets, and then I just took one of the pieces of ephemera and then just added a couple pieces of scrap in there as well. And then after I did, this was the first one I did, and then after I did that, I'm like, can we do it with 12 by 12? Because I like real estate. I need to have room when it comes to this. Just gotta have that room there. Let's see. What? I am doing very well, Teresa. Thank you so much for asking and being here. So here is the 12 by 12. I just went right for it. Again, I gotta have real estate. So again, a belly band, dug into some of those paper dolls. I did a double pocket in the front with 2 tags, and I haven't finished decorating these yet. Just added a little bit of decoration here. There is a paper clip here. I thought the doll was cute sitting on the pocket because this will flip down and it can be a journaling spot. Had to put something here because I glued my girl to it. And so a pocket so that a tag can sit in there. This is also a tuck, so you can actually sit something in there as well. My printer is speaking to us. So again, this huge papers, we don't know what to do with them. Found something to do with it. Just did a little stamping down here. Huge print, another pocket with a lady sitting there. Now this one is glued. Took a piece of 6x6 and cut out the image to make a pocket. This here is a tuck as well. Let me get a scrap. There we go. This is a tuck. This is just glued on here, so it's a flip. That's a tuck. Another pocket with a distinguished gentleman. This is a side tuck. And then that is a tuck as well. We have the other tuck on this side. And then another gentleman sitting there with the pocket glued. Another flip. Another tuck. And then two cute ladies with another pocket. And then this is a pocket here. And then we've got another paper clip where this can fold down. Journaling spot. And then we've got a pocket in there. There's our back. And there is our back as well. So that was the second one. So this was kind of showing me, oh, okay, this is what we can do. We can do these, and I knew that we could put scrap papers through it, but I'm like, okay, can we take larger, because then we can have larger pockets, we can have this. You guys know me, I like to take things to the next limit, see how far I can push it. And then I needed to catch up to Biddy because she just takes off. I was still on my first one, I think, when she moved to her second one. Hello, Kim. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Jennifer, hello. Did you, Jennifer? You made one of those? I bet you were quicker than I was. Yeah. Hello, Biddy. So, Biddy's in the house. So, this was my third one. So, I took 12 by 12 paper and just cut it in half. So, it was cut 6 to 12. Just folded it in half, and now we've got a 6 by 6. So I was really starting to, I'm not an engineer, but I am methodical and analytical. So I needed to know, okay, how is this working? How is this, what else can I do with it? So this one here, I just took the cut aparts from a paper stash, created a pocket, so a tag with a little poof. Gotta have a poof. Just did some strips in the background to make that stand out. And then used the cut aparts for our pockets. There is still plenty of room to decorate. This is glued down. Plenty of room to decorate and have fun with this. So there is potential with this. Now, of course, it was hysterical. So again, I encourage you to go back to Biddy's live yesterday. It was quite comical. Yeah. Yes, because we chose some things, we pulled a number out for what that item was going to do, because neither of us had any ideas what we were going to do. And of course I said, you know, I have no idea what a 3-minute journal is, and that was number 5. Yep, that's the one we pulled. But I thought it was great. I learned something new. I learned something new. Okay, let's see. Hello, hello. Is it Mayhem Crafty Cards? Hello. Vicky, good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. It's a beautiful day. I had the windows open. Absolutely gorgeous. And I had to check them. All right, we are just going to play. I want to make ephemera. Now, as I said, whether it makes it on a card, whether it's ephemera, I think it's going to be a combination of some stuff. There is another journal that I want to start and work on. And I was just scrolling, which is dangerous. Um, and I came across happy, joyful, because, and I was roaming around in Tracy Fox's Etsy shop because Creep on June is going to be starting. And I'm all excited. Again, it's not for everyone. Not for everyone. Because it's Halloween themed. And, yeah. So if anyone is interested, if we remember what I did last year, she's doing another one for June, Creep on June. And you can get the 3 digitals that are available for this right now. And I believe they're 30-40% off until May 31st. I haven't printed them down yet because I don't know how I'm going to structure this album. Or even if it's going to be an album. Yeah, so this could be something completely different. But as I was roaming in there, and I believe, Biddy, you used something similar. She had the joyful portraits. So I printed those down. You know, people smiling. Oh, look at that. Smiling, laughing. Awesome. Doesn't it just puts a smile on your face when we see that? So I just think these are wonderful. And then we have the kids smiling and laughing. It just really, it did. It put a smile. So I printed it 2 ways, 2 different sizes. Didn't know what I was exactly going to make there. So we've got that. I dug into my stash of my digitals for florals, so I can cut those out. And then I saw a kit that she had in there, which is always dangerous for me. And this is going to be the next journal that I work on. And it is called, I forget. Hang on. Jumbly Dolls. I loved the colors. I loved the look. Patchwork, fabric. It's bright. It's springy. I know I'm flipping quickly, but, you know, want to get to playing with stuff. This page is upside down. There we go. And then I used a digital to back it. I'm not sure if that's upside down, but we'll figure it out. And then it's fabric, buttons. So it just reminded me of quilting. Back in my quilting days, I thought it was really cute. They're not scary. But I just thought they were really cute. And again, I just loved the palette. The palette really drew me in. Not sure if it's going to be a bunch of single signatures or if it's going to be one big journal. Not quite sure yet. But I also want to add other elements to it. Skip the page there. And again, she has her pockets. Love the weaving of the fabric. And I'm very tempted to create a woven fabric cover. I've done those in the past. Matter of fact, oh, hang on. So I keep a couple books with ideas, things that I kind of come up with. And in there, that's what a woven cover would look like. And I used an envelope, a packaging envelope. So this was the test. I just got to work it out. And this is almost kind of done. I think that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Hello, Gwen. Good morning. So for this one, actually, Anthony, yeah, that may just work. I don't know. It's an idea. I just loved the textures of it. Again, I'm not, for once, at least I didn't choose something, dark. Because I usually do that. It's just something that I go with. But I did. I just love the way that this was all put together. And then I just have some extra pages that I printed down. So still thinking that through, but we are going to play today using florals, happy faces, because who doesn't want to smile, right? First, I'm going to make some ephemera. And to answer your question, what type of paper do I print on? So this was actually printed on regular copy paper. I get the 3-ring pack from Amazon. And I think it's like 20 pounds. It's just general copy paper. I didn't want to, I usually, there are times where I'll use a 32-pound photocopy paper, but it's just a photo. It's by Hammermill. There we go. So the Hammermill Premium Color Copy Cover, and it's not cover weight. It's a text weight. This is 60 pound. So I'll use the 32 pound for pages. I will use the 60 pound for some of the ephemera. And I will use the 110 pound for tags and the ephemera that I want just heavier, if I choose to do that. I chose to do this one completely on copy paper, just regular copy paper, because you can. And I chose that because I've got scraps. Let's just use the scraps. That's what I want to do. I just want to use up my scraps. And that's what we're going to do today. So, I've got my ivory scraps. I've got my strippy scraps because I love these. These are all neutral colors and everything else. These are awesome to use. They're busting out, so I got to use them. I also have, because we're going to start out, these are scraps of Bristol cardstock and Canson XL watercolor papers. See, small strips. We're going to use that. That's where we're going to start, actually. I found my Inktense blocks. I love these things. We're going to use these as a watercolor palette. These are great as a watercolor palette. They're bright, they're vibrant, you can mix them, you can get a palette, you can do all of that fun stuff. But I just found them and really want to get to using my stash. But yeah, smiley faces. And then I just grabbed some stamps. And the stamps that I'm going to focus on are tickets. These are Stampers Anonymous Ticket Booth, CMS 337. And I do have the dies. I don't use the dies. And then I have Stamp Collector and Curator. So I want to use these so that I can create my own stamps, but have colorful backgrounds. I want colorful backgrounds. I want to match what those are. So we are going to use these as a watercolor. Now, use your watercolors, Crayola, your prangs, and whatever watercolors you have. If you have watercolor pencils, you can use your water reactive inks, your distress inks, whatever you've got. I just chose to pull these out. And all I'm going to do, this is going to be really quick because I wanted it to dry in time. I was going to do this big 9x12 piece and just, no, it'll take forever to dry. Forever. All right. Let's see. Just checking the comments. Kim, freaky looking dolls. They are, but they're buttons. They're fabric. It's yarn. It's string. They're cute. They're not voodoo dolls. Yes, Gwen, that's who convinced me. Lindsay, yes, the Frugal Crap, she convinced me to get these as well. But you know what? She's never wrong. She's never wrong. So the way that I use these as a palette, you can grab these and draw on here and then mix it out. I don't want it to be too dark because you can see how intense they are. So here I'm just going to swipe on it and then get the color down. And then go into another one and put that next to it. So I do want to create just little blocks of color. And again, just staying within, trying to remember what the color palette is. And just mixing that out. And then I'm going to stamp over these with black. And then we're just going to come out. You know, how simple is that? Ooh, like that color. Yes. And just getting those two colors. So, when we talk about watercolors, I get asked a lot, what should I, start with? I will always suggest to start with Crayola. I think the sets are awesome. And just the 8. Because then that'll help with mixing so that you can get used to that. And hopefully this will dry in time. Okay. Don't be neat. Don't be thinking about it. Just slap that on. Just slap, 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 slap. You could do a whole panel if you want. I'm just keeping them small. And making sure the colors just merge around. These are universal. You know, if you're looking for that one product, that one thing that is universal, and that's how I look at things now. How can one thing for me do multiple different things? If you're just, I'm going to set these aside to dry because we're going to do the bunch. Let's use this strip. I don't know what else I would use that strip for. The most universal thing, I think, is water reactive inks. You can stamp with them. You can um, watercolor with them. You can stamp and then pull the watercolor out. There's all kinds of things that you can do with that. And then that can also help you to say, yeah, okay, I think I like watercolor. Or it will help you say, nope, not for me. I'm a stamper. So now I'm just doing little tiny rows. And we'll see how these dry. Alright, let's let this set. Hello, Flo. Welcome. Cordelia. So, Cordelia, I'm sending you an email. Keep an eye out for it today. Surprise! Yes, that is something else that's wonderful, Biddy, with the Inktense. So remember, Inktense, whether you have the sticks or whether you have the pencils. Now, for so long, a lot of people used the pencils as watercolor pencils. They are not watercolor pencils. You can use them that way, but they are technically not watercolor pencils. They are, um, it's ink. It's ink that is compressed, whether it's in the pencil, whether it's in the stick. And once these dry, they are permanent. So it's like acrylic. Once acrylic dries, it's permanent. And it won't move. What color is that? Ooh, I love indigo. That is my favorite color. Absolutely love indigo. And then we got that long strip. And we'll do one more. And then that should be enough. Well, hello and good morning, and John. I love that. Ah. We need a. But that would be fun. A crafty retreat. Yes, Anthony. I agree. I don't want to do any neutral colors. I want to keep them bright. Now I think this one I'm going to go right down the reds. And then I just need to make sure, or what I'm trying to make sure is I make them tall enough. Now, I'm not overly concerned if I don't get them tall enough, only because y'all know vintage photo is going to come in, right? I'm just saying. I couldn't resist yesterday. All right, we got that. Okay, I think that's enough. We're going to let those dry. So this is a great product. Do you need all the colors? No, you do not. I suffer from it. They do have a set of 12. So, if you're interested, they are great. And again, flexible. Alright, let me get these out of my way so I don't drop them. If they break, it's all good. Let's work on our bases. So let's get into these odd shapes here. Nope. Yes. Yes. I do keep all of my offcuts, especially my ivory, my white, my black, and my craft. And this is all the recollections, whether it's 65 or 110 pound. What size are these? Yes, I'm actually looking at what size. So these are 3 inches. This is, I know, I'm measuring, I know. Shocking, right? That's just over 3.5 by 3. I'm kind of liking that. Alright, let's go with that. We'll cut some down. Oh. I said 3 by 3.5, right? See, this is why I don't measure. Because now I've got to think. I'm going to go to 4. 3 by 4. So I do keep all of the natural colors. I keep the other colors as well. But these are the main ones. I usually have these after my journals, my scrapbook albums, actually. I don't know how many I'm going to get to, but we shall see. Okay, I put a little bit of a dent. It's not bad. So these are going to be my bases. I always do like to work off of a base. Always. I'm looking at the comments, just making sure. Cordelia is making coffee, in case anybody wanted to know that. Good morning, Christine. Welcome. All right, let's have some fun. So we are going to make happy ephemera. Happy, happy, happy. Again, I just saw these and they just made me smile. These are the women. I think the kids are absolutely adorable. Love the kids. Gonna work with the kids first. And we're just going to cut out some ephemera. These, I think, are going to be mixed in with that kit that I showed. I like mixing and matching. I also like creating things on a base. And again, I just printed these out on regular copy paper. Nothing fancy. Because I knew I was going to work on a base. Okay, these are too cute. How does that not put a smile on your face? I'm just saying. It's the wonderful little things, right? And then I want this one because that's what my hair looks like in the morning. Yes. Thank goodness for clips. All right. Here we go. Love. Yeah, that, yeah. Matter of fact, that looks better than my hair in the morning. Just saying. We know I do not put anything on straight. And I want to grab my scraps. Big bin, big bin. And we're just going to have fun. All right, so what are we talking about here? Hello, Zenyan. Well, that piece was made for that. So I'm wiggling to try to get it to move over. Now I'm going for a certain look. So you're going to see some paper just flying in. So I apologize for that. It's kind of how I work. It's kind of similar to how I clean. You know, I just wipe it all right off. Just, you know, scratch it across. Oh, anybody remember that piece? Just saying. Always have to have a piece of black in there. And if we hear a loud crash, all will be fine. It is possible that something could fall. That's too dark. So I keep my scraps in a plastic bin, one of those 12 by 12 bins. Um, and I know I'm going to say something that is probably going to make somebody nuts, so I'm going to apologize now. I try to not go, and notice how I said I try to not go outside of this bin with some watercolor paper. To go outside this bin. If I do, then that tells me, nah, not getting through the scraps. And I need to do that. Alright, I think we're good with this. What do you think? I do, at the end of the year, go through my scraps, and if I've kept a piece small, you know, like smaller than, let's say, 2 inches by 2 inches, yep, I clean it out. Now, I will look, and what I do is I actually put it in a bag. I set it up in a bag. Did I not put glue? And I look at that bag. Because those little pieces, you could make like a collage of those little pieces. And if I see that I've got a bit, I'll quick make a couple of them, but then the rest go away. They just go. And yes, we are tearing paper today. Because who doesn't love to tear paper? But if I didn't do that every year, I would have absolutely no room. I would run out. And I came to that when I did the when I cleaned out this room, when I did the remodel. What did I'm using this little one to get rid of it, Betty. I know you'd made a comment that you were proud I went to a larger one, but there's glue in here, and I'm not going to waste it. So once it's empty, it's going to go away. There were things, I think, that grew on their own. And it was bad. It was just really, really bad. So. So yesterday, I was on a roll yesterday after our live together. well, I finished up, and I'm about to post the final episodes within the community. We finished our project. So I got that done. And then I started mapping out the next project for both levels. Let's do that. I have to come up. I have an idea for a technique. So I think that's going to go on. And after I'm done here, I have to do some adulting things. Here. Yep, cleaning. Don't want to do it. I may push it off till tomorrow. Because we are going to tangle today. I'm going to get those going in our community as well. So for those of you that are there, stay tuned. It's coming. That was me waving to my husband. That little. And for those of you that don't know, I do have a community going on. It's got 2 levels because nobody should not be able to be part of the community. And we just have fun with paper. Lots and lots of fun with paper. So I have no rhyme or reason here. When you're doing collages, and again, the other question I get is, what paper goes with what paper? And my answer to that is always, well, if it's a paper pad, it's meant to go together. These are scraps. They're not necessarily now meant to go together, but you can see, again, I just pulled things that were somewhat similar when it comes to the paper. You can't go wrong. There are no wrong choices. You'll know when something just does not go together. You'll just know it. So you can see here we've got bright, cheery, and here we've got kind of a little bit darker, but we've got that white that's going to come in. It still all goes together. So don't be afraid to mix and match. And then as I'm tearing, the smaller pieces are going up here, and they'll actually go in a bag so I don't lose them. Alright, I need to catch up in the comments in case anyone's asking any questions. Oh, let's put that one like that. Questions! Okay, I'm backing up a little bit here. Let's see. Jen said, oh, you're in Maryland. I'm just above you. I'm just outside of Philadelphia. And yes, it is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I had all the windows open, but I had to close this one in here. I'm on a busy street. Let's see. Just going through. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Anthony, that's okay that you don't keep anything smaller than a credit card. That's, again, there are some people that won't keep anything smaller than a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that's okay. I know it's sacrilegious. I get it. But that's okay. Again, you gotta look at your space when it comes to that. Again, there's no wrong. Nobody holler. Oh. A year ago, Desiree did a journal. I made 5 covers and 2 completed it. Now I'm working on getting the rest done. Yay! Yay! Congratulations, Cordelia. That's awesome. Yeah, you can see I really had to go back there. Yes, Gwen. These are 3 by 4. So I always do a base, whether I'm making a card or whatever, and I bring it to the card base, or I'll bring it onto the tag, or I'll bring it onto a journaling card. I always work on a base of some sort because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It allows me to use it for whatever I want to. And I'll actually show that once we get these done. You know, what they can be, what they could be, when you just choose a size. I just went with 3 by 4 because that's what my scrap was. Let's see. Questions. Yesterday's live was a lot of fun. I did a lot of laughing. And I picked on Biddy. Yes, I did. I cannot craft as fast as her. Okay, don't beat up the printers, Cordelia. We were having fits on our live. So, you know, what the good thing was, at one moment I was frozen, the next moment Biddy was frozen. So, you know, we kind of like tag teamed off the freezing. We never froze together. Get it? We never. Okay. All right, let's see here. Waynesboro. I'm not quite sure how far Waynesboro is for us. Give me a city that I would know that that's close. Yes, Cordelia. Index cards are perfect for collage. Absolutely. Envelopes you get in the mail. Perfect for collage. Now, again, I will always encourage to look at your mail differently. The advertisement cards, the envelopes, save it. You know, like slice the envelope with a dull, something dull, you know, um, because they are good bases. Whether you make cards or whether you do journals, they can be your bases. Now, please remember though, if we continue to not use it and store it, will run out of room. Just saying. We will eventually do that. It's actually too close, but I like that there. So they do. They make. I did that all day yesterday too. I keep throwing things with the glue. I've been lucky so far. It hasn't done any damage. Um, Again, it's just going to take up space. So limit yourself to a container. And once that container gets full, start creating so that you can fill it back up. You're always going to get those advertisement cards, those, oh, that needs to go up there, but I need that piece. You're always going to get those. But we just need to make sure that we're using our stash, right? We don't need it to get out of... Okay, Hagerstown. All right. I knew that. But index cards, we always don't have to spend. Oh, and everybody needs to know that Biddy was an enabler yesterday. Yes, she was. Yep. Yes, she was. I went shopping. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I did get the large, I gotta tear this whole side off. I did get the large 3D embossing folders out of the vault. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Betty. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys to card kits. I think you and Biddy should do more lives together. Well, I do know that the next time Biddy and I are together, I'm going to get her out of her comfort zone. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Absolutely. It'll be fun. So, card kits. You know, there should be a way that when we do this live that we can, you know, turn on volume and talk. I gotta think about that. And I need a small piece. I want a small piece. Card kits. Please do not you know, we started talking about card kits yesterday, and it got me thinking. Besides Simon Says, I love their card kit. I think their card kit is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I really, really do. What are other card kits out there? And I know of Hero Arts. List. I'm laughing at Biddy's comment. Where did the pictures come from? Thank you for putting that in capital letters. That was awesome because I was able to see it, Teresa. Thank you. So these pictures here, do they not just make you smile? They are just, yeah, I went this way because I'm seeing comments coming over my phone. So, yeah, like you all see them. These came from Tracy Fox. Tracy Fox Creative. And there's joyful youths and joyful portraits. I went with the kids because it just makes you smile. They just brought a smile to my face. So, yeah. Haha, got your back. Just saying. Let's see. I know, Cordelia, I know that there are tons of card kits. I know. Um, but just like when we were talking yesterday, card kits are fun to work with. They kind of, get you out of a comfort zone. It stretches. Now, don't get me wrong. I can certainly put my own card kit together. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, sometimes it's nice to support. I look at it that I support, or I'm also supporting these companies, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be fortunate enough to have this community, to have fun with all you guys, create with you all. Wouldn't have made or met the people that I have met throughout all this. So it's just my way. And I don't go crazy anymore, which is really cool. I really do think before I make a purchase, I used to be very reactionary. Very much so. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But now, no. What I've also learned is I should not talk to Biddy and what she says, because we all have our favorite creators, right? We all do. And I think you all know who mine is. We all have that vice, so to speak. And his creations are definitely my soft spot. And it was fun. Tim actually he did a video on them, and I'm putting it on upside down, and he just created, and it was fun to watch. That was fun to watch. So you eventually do stop going crazy and sitting back. Hello, Maddie. Let's see. Hello, Diane. Oh, more people. Hello, hello, hello. Pretty cards for my gel prints. Oh, they will be awesome. I could, Flo. I could get like a really pretty box, put all this stuff in, and say, okay, this is our kit. That would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, we're just going to make a few more. How many do I got here so far? And how far are we in I can't see. Alright, we're in about an hour. Alright. Alright, I'm going to finish up these two because then I have 7. I work in odd numbers. I'm sorry. You all know that. Although I broke. So, for those of you that know me, I love snarky. I'm just saying. Not obnoxious, snarky, but snarky. Yes, very much so. So, I do have the dogs and the cats and the birds um, from Stampers Anonymous. But did anybody see the video that Vicky put out recently with the cats and the dogs? Anybody? Anybody? I do. I am so I have to be very careful, especially when I'm live. We were it was getting close yesterday. But I'm never rude or obnoxious. I can be. I just I'm just throwing it out there. Um, but yeah, I think it's fun, and I don't know if I'm saying this company correctly, but All and Create, is that the name of the company? They came out. Uh, uh, yes, Vicky P, because I cannot pronounce her last name. She is the one that got us all started on art journaling. I love it when she does it. It is just awesome. And she very much inspired an idea for um, a journal that I'm going to film um, for the community. Um, but the cats and the dogs, I'm like, yeah, okay, yep, God. So because Biddy got me into the Simon Says yesterday, I figured, why not? I'm here. So, yeah, they're on their way. They were just they were just way too cute. Absolutely way too cute. Okay. They do. Those types of Christmas cards do sell. They really do. And again, they don't have to be completely. rude and obnoxious, but 9 out of 10 is how we truly feel. I was debating whether or not to create, all right, now I'm just looking at the backs because I do want to have the straight edges on the backs of these. There we go. I was debating whether or not to create some of those sentiments. And again, there would not be any curse words, because that is not necessary. All right, there we go. Now we've got 7 backgrounds, bright and cheery. I'm going to grab all of these. Yep, they go back into the bin. I don't get rid, unless it's like really small. Don't get rid of anything. Put that behind me. I almost drank my watercolor water. Teresa Tan, good morning, and thank you so much. I received it. It's beautiful. Thank you. Didn't have to do that, and I'm so glad you're enjoying them. Yeah, I almost drank the painty water. I almost did it. So, as always, I just lay everything else, and I do work in production style. When it comes to something like this, I do. Now I'm just going to lay these down, and I hope I have, of course not. Okay. Child running, yes. He's the winner. Okay, we have that. Now, what I am going to do to each of these, and again, these are just going to be backdrops. And I came up with an idea. So, yep, be right back. Nope. Well, okay, we'll grab those. I don't want white. Nope. Okay. Better like that. Okay. Oh, thank you. I'm back. Okay. So I found, so again, with that journal, I think I'm going to make inserts, card inserts. One of the things that I miss, and I know I've said this before, I miss my AC Moores. Anybody remember AC Moores? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Christine, I have done that too. Yes, I have taken a paintbrush and put it into either my iced tea, yeah, and it had ice in it. You'd think I'd know, or my coffee. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Um, I miss my AC Moores. I really, really do miss AC Moores because AC Moores, it was different. It's different than Michael's. AC Moore's was like it was a craft store, but it was bulk. You could get lots of things like wooden pieces, pom-poms, paints, all this stuff in bulk. It was for the crafter um, that was involved in craft shows, showcases, and stuff like that. And one of the things that they had there, and Recollections has them once in a while too, are the card packs. You know, with the card bases and the envelopes. And boy, did they have a deal on them. Oh, they had a deal. It was awesome. And now there's not so much of a deal. Okay, so that would work. And yeah, so will that. Okay, awesome. So these are going to be inserts in that kit that I was showing before. So for those of you that came in a little later, there's a journal kit that I found on Tracy Fox. Love Junk Journals, I think is her Etsy store, called Jumbly Dolls, because I had to go there because Creep on June is about to start. I'm all excited. I know it's not for everyone. Will always say that. It's just not for everyone. You gotta like Halloween. You gotta like creepy. And this isn't too bad. It's kind of like it's got a Poe theme, but some of the pages or the pages for it remind me of the blueprints by Stampers Anonymous. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I do want to border these so that they really pop out. And I'm actually going to border them in the ivory. Yes. So I need my scraps again. I'm not going to measure these. I'm just going to put them on, and I'm going to cut around. Oh, thank you, Biddy. Oh, Cordelia, you missed out on AC Moore's. AC Moore's was just awesome. I miss them. I really do miss them. So these are going to be inserts, like I said. For the journal. So they're going to be like pages. So instead of like I'll usually put a doily or a paper bag, I am going to put these in there. And these are going to have pockets and stuff like that. So, kind of making cards. Kind of, sort of. And we're going to keep the feel of the Jumbly Dolls. Everyone, some people are going, what is she talking about, Jumbly Dolls? It's a journal kit that's on Tracy's Etsy store as well. She came out with it recently. I thought it was adorable. Lots of textiles. Will it? Nope. Okay. Alright, now I'm just going to cut around them. It's not going to be too big of a border. I'm not worried about if it's straight. I know this makes some nuts, but again, if you feel comfortable with a paper trimmer, go for it. I, on the other hand, am lazy. I don't feel like pulling it out and then lining everything up. That's why I love long shears, because you can get 9 out of 10 one cut with most things that we're cutting out. Pieces I'm pulling out are the ones, yes, I'm actually keeping. Those will not. I think for next Sunday, I think I already have an idea of what we're going to be doing. Very messy though. So that'll be fun. All right. Let's see. Oh no, now, Cordelia, do not feel guilty. Okay, I love the strips, you know, but no, it's keep the scraps that you work with. Never feel guilty. And that box is getting a little out of hand, so yeah, we got to look at that. So even though I used ivory, it's still going to, they're still going to stand up because I'm not going to put any vintage photo on those. I know, amazing, right? There is going to be vintage photo that goes around. Now, I don't know if it's going to be vintage photo or if I'm actually going to use another color, um, like a beige or something else like that. Um, to work that through. All right, let's go back to our stamps. These are nice and dry. So you can see modeled. Kind of love it. It's matching what we're... Oh, what is that? Okay, let's cut that off. Go away. I'm not quite sure what that was. I'm hoping these are big enough. And then we've got this. So, to make your own stamps, now, of course, you can find them in pattern papers, you can find them in digitals, but there are stamps, and that's what I'm going to be using. So, stamp collector and curator. Of course, these are all together, so I'm not going to worry. Okay. I think I'm going to use these going across here. And if there's a little bit of white showing, I'm not worried about it. Of course, I need one more. All right, so we got that. Now let's look at our stamps. How did I do that? Oh, I know how I did that. No, that's not going to work anymore. I can always stamp it that way. That works. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of this, so give me a moment. And I'll never be able to put the pieces back, so this will be fun. Let's see if I'm going to be able to do this. Oh, that wants to come up. Must have used it. Of course. Oh, alright, let's put you there. You gotta love red rubber. The best. Detail, strength. It works. Okay. And believe it or not, I used to save all this backing stuff. I don't anymore. Okay. Now, let's choose them. Alright, I can put that there. So these are just going to be accents for around these. We're getting into small territory on that one. And that's okay. We can do that. And because I have them placed, I am going to use my stamp positioning tool. Nobody needs to watch me do this. One at a time. I'm not crazy about those colors. So we'll put those up there. We'll shift these over here. And I'm going to go back to these. because I do like the squares. Not going to get into the tickets today. Well, maybe I will. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Never say never. Let's see, is this, please fit. Of course not. Why would it fit? But we're going to do this. Oh, sleep well. Sleep well. If it's past midnight, yes. Please sleep, Diane. Enjoy. All right, let's get that there. We can get this one here. Let's see if we can get most of these stamped all at once. You never know. Let's see, can I get, all right, let's trim that one down. I already know it's not going to fit. Let's see if this one can get in there. Ooh, it's okay. Just grumble just a little bit. That's all we're doing. Okay, that one's not going to be fun. Trap them. Got to straighten some of them out. See if they're still in place. Ooh, look at that. They are. Alright, I am going to grab some tape though. I don't trust these in case I got a double stamp. Well, Diane, if we keep talking to you, you'll stay. So, that's only because we love you. Here we go. I am going to use black archival. I want these to stand out. And we'll see if my idea works. Yeah, I just pushed it in an area where there was no stamp. That's funny. Yes. Alright, it actually worked. I'll get these back on, and then we are just have one more stamp to take care of. Yep, I'm getting all kinds of black ink on my finger. Have to wash that off. And one more. So if you ever wonder what can you do with these stamps, you can also use solid cardstock. And then when you add your, if you add an ink around or anything like that, you'll get the same effect. You don't always have to use, craft or tea dyed or coffee dyed. No, I still have not coffee dyed my paper yet. And I really, really want to get that done. But I just don't think it's going to work. Where did I put my... I can't find my baby wipes. And I had them out. Well, if I can't... Oh, I found them. Got to get that off my nail. Or else I'm going to get this all over the place. What I like to do, especially with the tickets, when you put them on solid cardstock, think of those different colors that you wouldn't have thought, like yellow or turquoise, or something like that. Because when you put your vintage photo over it, it's going to change the color. Very much so. It won't be the color that you're thinking it's going to be. So you'll get a completely different effect. To cut these out, I just use scissors, and since they're stamps, I have these from Fiskars. They're mini pinking. And I just go around all four sides. So you just get a watercolor, a watercolor world or effect. It's not just one color. Do I have stamps? I do. I absolutely do have stamps. But again, I wanted to go with a textile type thing. I'm going to get a hand punch. Hand punches are awesome. They're quick. Oh, hello. I should have done them all of that. I would have had them all done by now. Just saying. And this one we can choose. I'm going to choose to make that one round. Yep, keep that. You don't have to also cut these. I just like the look of a stamp. You can do just the top and the bottom. And as I said, I do have a lot of stamps. My dad and I, we used to run a stamp store, Stamp and Coin. that I'm going to hold out. But as I said, I'm looking to put all kinds of textures throughout the thing. These we're just going to go with a square. Didn't want to talk through that. I would have cut my finger. Oh, did I say stamping plate? I meant stamp positioner. Sorry. All right, and then these I'm going to go top and bottom. Again, just to give a different look. When I'm using sharp instruments, I must focus. Just saying. These are not sharp, so I can speak as I'm cutting with these. So you can see the difference, well, that shot across the room, that we're getting when it comes to the colors. It looks awesome. That would be a great cover if you just line them up. So I had one plan when I started this morning, and I have morphed into something else. Still sticking with the journal. Because I was going to pull in flowers. I was going to pull in that. Nope. Nope. Be right back. Okay. I did keep some of my fabrics from my quilting days. A lot of it, I don't know if I have any quilters here. A lot of it is from jelly rolls. If you guys know what those are. Okay, Cordelia's throwing things out. All right, I need to find a page with lots of the colors. And I want that one. So I have a lot of jelly rolls. I did keep batiks, which are awesome hand-dyed uh, fabrics. I use these a lot um, to create ruffles. That's a Christmas one. Don't need Christmas. Although it would be fun, it'd be festive. So I keep these. I did destash a lot of my fabric stash. But there is certain fabric that I kept so that I can make covers. That's Christmas. And all of that. And of course, yeah, I've been purchasing a collection recently because the man makes me nuts. All right, those are the ones that I want there. So, yeah. I'm getting the color palette in on those, the Tim Holtz fabrics. They are gorgeous. They are phenomenal. Let's see. I'm looking at the comments, just looking to catch up. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're talking about the TH platform. Yeah, now when it comes to, I have the same issue with the Tim Holtz platforms. It's almost like the center concaves in. That's the experience that I have. You really got to push it down. The way that I fixed it was foam. I put a piece of foam in there and it works. But I only pull them out because I broke mine. Oh, I was very upset. And my husband actually bought me my stamp positioning tool. So that's how I fix it. But I only pull it out, yeah, when I'm using a big sheet. But I very rarely do that. So for me, it's like an antique that gets put away. I know, stupid. I know. I know. I hear you. I hear you. Um, retail area. Yeah, it wasn't. I loved the concept of it. But yeah, mine it actually concaved in the center um, of it, and I very rarely. So they're just tucked away. You know, I won't get rid of it. Okay, let's get back to these. This is turning into a marathon. Imagine that. All right, so what I want to do is I need my Faber-Tac glue. Whenever I'm gluing fabric, you've got to have that. So these are going to go on the front. I always have to just collage a little bit just to put something there. And I think these are going to add that pop of color that I'm looking for. Now, since I didn't pull in or didn't do any tickets, I've got some here. So this is how I store all of my fussy cutted, is that even a word? Fussy cutted digitals. And then I put the name of who they are from on the back. So this is going to sit on the front because I think it is just really cute. But I want this to be functional just a little bit. So my idea and yes, I have a pair of fabric scissors. Oh, the heck you say. Thank you. We are going to create pockets. So when you tear fabric, if you didn't know, you will always have a straight line. So your tear will be straight. The cut may not. They actually did a pretty good job on that one. So we're going to create a pocket in here. And just on the one side, because I want to keep journaling space. Oh, see, there you go, Jen. Yeah. Whenever you tear, it'll actually go in a straight line. Yes. So if you've got a big piece of fabric, and you can't go too small. So like this, you could go in the middle of this if you want to tear it. But you couldn't go all the way over here because you'll just go crazy trying to rip it because it may be crooked. But like, yeah, if you come in like a half of an inch on a big piece, then tear that edge off and then keep that edge because it's a great tag topper. So yeah, so like let's say I was trying to straighten this out, I would come in here, go into the color, tear it down. Now this piece is completely even, all right, on both sides because it's straight. It looks awesome because it's straggly. I will keep pulling the threads. It'll straighten itself back out. I love that look. That's going to go in the back on the front. And this, oh no, never throw this away. Once you clean it off and get all the straggles off, you can tie it in a bow. You can make it a topper for a tag. Yeah. I have a whole thing filled with these too. So, strippies. Strippies are great. But yeah, it'll actually tear perfectly straight for you. So I used to cringe when I was a quilter, and when I would go to my quilting shop, they cut the fabric, which is fine, but I would cringe. Be like, do you have to cut it? Can you just tear it? Because I used to work in a fabric store, and that's how I did it. I always tore the fabric, and there was a lot of people that asked, why do you do that? Well, because you're getting a straight line. You're getting the true, if you want a half of yard, you're going to get a true half of yard. Sorry, I kept on pouncing on it. So now we've got a fabric pocket, which I think is really cool. It's going to pull in the whole thing. Now, yeah, don't shut down on that. This strip here, see, sometimes it's just too short. It won't tear. So we'll have to, there you go. Just got to go down a little further. This is going to be the backdrop. I'm going to let that hang off. So let's get that down. Now you could sew this. I don't want to sew it because I don't want the sewing on the other side and on the inside of the card. I want that to be opened for journaling. And I'm going to bring this down. I love fabric glue, but that stuff annoys me when it does that. And I'm just going to fold this over lightly right here. I got to stop tapping. So now we've got a tab that's going to come out, and I can pin a tassel to it. I can pin something else to it. Oh, Biddy, your space is too small. Yeah, right, but you keep adding to it, don't you? Just saying, we all do. Come on. But, no, I have. I've been really good. Amazingly good. Okay, so now I can do that. This, I lost my stare. I am going to put vintage photo around this. Where are we at? Of course, we're almost 2 hours in. It's all right. I'll let you guys go soon. Just going to go lightly around the outside. That's going to sit there. She is going to sit there because too cute. And she is going to be a tuck. So that's what we're going to do with her. So, I hate it when that happens. And now I have fabric tack all over my hands. It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. Alright. There we go. Sorry for the scratching. I'm going to put that on an angle. I don't need to put fabric tack on that piece either. I'm going to put glue down this side, down this side. I'm going to put a little bit of vintage photo around that. Again, it does not take away from any of the colors. I get people that kind of firmly say, "You're ruining the colors." No, I'm not. And I'm going to put that there. That there. I'm not worried about if any of the ephemera that I'm adding is going to hang off the edge. And we've got that. We've got this. And we are going to do one more thing to the front. I'm going to finish this one so that you can see where we're going with it. I feel a flurry. Hello, Shay. If I didn't see you, you've probably been here for a while, yes, and I just didn't see you. There are probably so many people that I have missed. I am so sorry. All right. That was a lot. There's my dropper. I need a dropper. Usually have droppers. And I go. Hi, Max. Max is here. And he's absolutely annoying me right now. Yep. Alright, so we're just going to use a spoon. I'm not worried about the colors that are in there. I'll be able to wrap this in plastic so that I can save it. And we're going to mix. I just want to hint. I could have used the picket fence, but as with all sprays, it is all over the place. And I don't like how it sprays. I love it, but I don't like how it sprays on something. I need it to be specific. Yep, I am one of those nuts that paid for a box. Just paid for a box. This does have a lot of water. That's okay. Because again, I want them to be soft. They're going to go in the fabric. They're actually going to hide on the fabric. And there we go. That is what we're going to be making. So where these are going to go is they're going to get sewn into the signature throughout. So we're going to have different sizes. So this, now AC Moore's had off sizes of cards. I think this is, yeah, see this is 4 by 5.5. So not a 4 1/4 by 5.5, but a 4 by 5.5, which I was always fine with that. And this one, it may look like a 5 by 7, but it's not. It's actually 6.5 by 5. So they were always off a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch, but it didn't bother me. So these are going to be sewn in. So here you've got your pocket here, your tuck, all right? And then when you open this, you've got your pocket. All right, and then journal. Now you could put, you know, a collage in the back here if you wanted to. And then here I've got the option of pinning something right there. So again, lots of textiles. That's what I'm seeing when it comes to this. Oh, thank you, Flo. Yeah, I'm catching up on comments again. Congratulations, Biddy. That is awesome. Yay, Sparkle. Yay. Um, let's see. You should continue to have breakfast with your family, Biddy. I have the funny feeling that I'm going to be here just for a little bit longer. So everybody, you guys can go. I'm sorry, I'm keeping you. This is the holiday weekend. I'm sure um, you guys want to celebrate. Oh, thanks for the love, Shay. I hope you're having a great weekend. Not crazy about those crayons. Nope. The Karen Dosh. I like the Liras, if that makes sense. Plus, they're reasonable. Let's see. Yeah, I had a lot to catch up. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, okay, so she got that. Those. I can ship things to you, Gwen. Do you want me to? I can. Yeah, I think we are all destashing. I am as well. My sister just retired. She is loving it, and I have given her things to do. She needs to find some places in this area. All right, we're going to set that aside so it can dry somewhere. There we go. Um, to now this, I can do this, and I can do that. Maybe sort of. No, I really do want to have these sitting on here. I think they look cute. All right, so we can have that. All right, so now we're just going to start rolling. Now that I know what I'm doing. It only took forever. All right, this one. I like this color. Now, if you all are still talking about it, she recently did a thing on card making, didn't she? I thought I saw that. I could be wrong. All right, I do want to, I'm going to go see if I can go right down the center on that. Go across. Going to clean that up. Why is someone calling me? I better check on that. Hubby's not home. Well, I'm going. Okay. Let's see. We can take... No, I don't want that one. And that's too skinny. This one, since it's a bigger card, I'm going to make it taller. Now, and my suggestion, I don't like to say never, but this, I guess I can. Never use your paper scissors cutting fabric You can, but you should have a pair of scissors just specific for fabrics, threads, um, and a pair for your paper. And here's why. Once you take a pair of scissors that's been paper and use it on fabric often, it will dull the blade. And vice versa. If you use a pair of scissors that has only touched fabric for the most part, you will dull the blade. And it will be noticeable. I mean, that was me trying to stay out of the glue. You'll actually see that you won't get a straight line, or you won't get that precision snip on that. So just keeping that in mind. Jensen, have a good one. Take care. Gwen, did I print those photos? No. Regular copy paper. I printed all of these photos on regular 20-pound that you cheap Amazon box of 3 reams copy paper. Alright, now I want to put that same strip in here. Alright. And this I'm gonna just snip. This is a nice long one. We're going to put that on there and we'll have a nice big topper. So they're all going to kind of look the same, but just have different angles. Let's say that. Oh. I'm good with all the threads going all over the place. So if you don't like to sew, when you rip, by ripping your fabric, you kind of can get that feel. So that, I'm going to do that one down here. So then we have a flappy tag. And we'll put this here. I'm going to put that there. I think after this one, I will let you all go. Unfortunately, I have to adult. But I am going to get all of these done the same way. Because now I'm just on a roll. So some of them are actually going to be cards. I may not put the flap up on the top. I think some of these are going to go in my stash as thank you cards. And then I think I want to put that one up there. And then I'm going to have like probably 3 of these for the journal. Yeah. All right, let's lift that up. pieces glued down. I'm hoping I put these in the same spot. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then we're going to do the same thing. I just like the idea of having a little tuck right there. It's surprising. People don't know. We've got that. Make sure, and then we've got our fabric pocket here. And this will hold. It won't. Now, again, you can't, you know, we don't need to beat up our paper. By all means, we should just have fun with it. I now have that cup so far away, I gotta stretch. Make sure I didn't drink it. And it goes. Yeah. Yes, I'm throwing the box that I paid money for across the road to get out of my way. So yeah, so the white's not going to show up on the fabric. Now what you can do is you can add a white acrylic marker there. You can see that where the white is, it's going to change colors. There is nothing that's going to stay true white unless you let everything dry on its own. But this is going to reactivate with water. All right, it's a inkjet printer. So we are going to get some of those colors to change. And I'm okay. That helps to make it look antique when we do that. And then we have this one. So again, same layout, bigger tab, but again, we can even put an eyelet in here. If we wanted this to be stronger, we can even fold that over again and glue it to make it stronger for when we put something on there. But otherwise, it's just a little tiny tab. You can have it go out this way, you know, whatever it is you want to do. But I know I'm going to make a couple more, because now I'm leaning towards this being, I think I'm going to make just singles. I don't know. I haven't figured out what the jings, I haven't figured out if I'm going to do a multiple journal or a single. I haven't done a single in a while, when it comes to that. Oh, thank you, Flo. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Teresa, the printer that I use is, I'm going to turn around here. It's a Canon G as in golf 6020. It's an eco tank, and Biddy actually recommended it, or something close to it. what I was looking for two things when it came to a printer, an eco tank, because with the amount of digitals I print, um, or just things that I do print, because like I'll design sayings for my ornaments and I'll print them down. I create, you know, reindeer garland with the names of the reindeer going across it. So I'm printing those a lot. Um, I just wanted an eco tank. It's just more cost effective and the ink lasts longer. The other thing that I was looking for was I needed to have a back feed. Not only a cassette, but I wanted a back fed um, printer because I wanted to be able to run through the 65-pound cardstock to print on. I wanted to also be able to pull through the 110-pound text weight, not cover weight, text weight, which is specifically for um, printers. And I wanted the ability, they say it can do it. I wanted to be able to run through a piece of watercolor paper. I have not done it yet. I have not done it. But they say it can do it. Those of you in the U.S., I like how you started that out there, Flo. Enjoy your holiday. Everyone else enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for the good company. You too, Flo. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy. Don't have to be celebrating a holiday. Just enjoy the day. Yes, Kim, mine are too. I was leaning between an Epson and a Canon. I think they are, um, they really look at what a creator is trying to do, whether it's having prints, you know, creating prints from their artwork that they've done, whether it's because there's a lot of people that after they do a watercolor painting or a sketch or something like that, they want to have a print and they sell those prints. Bless their hearts for doing that. I would, you know, just take the file, send it to somewhere, and say, okay, print these out, send them to me. just, um, but Canon and Epson has that down when it comes to that because they have multi echo tanks. I'm just good with the four, you know, the black, the cyan, the yellow, and the magenta. They have them, I think they can go up to like 12 different colors. So, but it's still economical, and they both do that. Um, but they are just the money that I have saved ever since I had this is we're going into top hundreds and thousands of cost for ink. So eco tanks. Now, and to each his own. Okay, I always buy the true ink. So I buy the Canon ink that is for this printer. I don't go to an off, and I know a lot of people do and have great success. I'm just paranoid and I don't want to take that chance to ruin my machine. So I stick with the thingy. I stick with the type of ink that it does. Um, Canon, it's a good brand. I mean, this is a workhorse. She is absolutely a workhorse. I've put her through some nasty stuff and never had an issue. I know when there is an issue because, you know, she'll tell me, just like my die cutting machines. Yes, you know, they will tell me, and it's usually when I'm trying to print stickers for my packaging or anything like that. I can't do multiples at once. Alright, so guys, I'm going to stop this video here. Um, but if you have, any questions, you all know how to get a hold of me. Cordelia, if you're still here, I don't think you are. I think you did leave a little bit ago. Look out for my email. I will be sending that out. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I do want to finish these up real quick, so we'll get those done. Again, I'll have my link down below for the community. I'd love to have you all there. Again, there is a free level, because I don't think anyone should be excluded. And yes, there is an option on a paid level. We just finished in the paid level. I actually did 2 journals, but we completed a journal only focusing on whether it's a pattern paper that you're using or a digital. We didn't go outside that realm. There's no metal. That was tough for me. That was absolutely tough for me to not add eyelets, ball and chains, charms, all. It was absolutely tough. But we created charms out of our paper. We created the only textile that was part of this was twine. So that's what all is. How is your podium messed up, Gwen? Email me. Huh. Are you sure you're typing it in the right way? I'll send them an email and find out why. I will find out. Because I actually have an account as well, in both levels so that I can see what's going on. And I haven't had to reset my password. So I will send them I will send them. Okay. I know you were inputting it correctly. I was just being funny. There's that sarcasm just coming in. When it comes to that. So we did. It was very tough to just focus on a journal and only the papers. Create your charms and only use ribbons. No eyelets. No. Oh, it was horrible. It was. So it got me out of the comfort zone when it came to that. So, yes, very, very difficult. But we did finish that up. And today I will be in the process of thinking about what we're going to do, what technique I want to come through for both areas, and just having some fun, stretching paper. So I'll have that link down below. Love to see you all in either level. I'm happy with either level when it comes to the community. And that is just going to continue to build. I'm just seeing things going on in other areas. So that's going to be the area to be in. I will also have the link to Biddy's channel down below as well, in case and the link to the live that her and I were in yesterday, because absolutely hysterical. I have never laughed so hard. We were just all cracking up. And yeah, it was absolutely entertaining when it came to just her and I with what we were doing and just having fun, even with the group in the chat. So I'm going to have that link down below as well. For those of you that do celebrate Memorial Day, enjoy the holiday. Have fun with friends and family. For me, this is my Memorial Day. I am going to be in my studio all day just having fun. And I am enjoying every moment of it. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. It's truly an honor. I am grateful. I love you all. I hope you have fun creating. I hope you see all kinds of different things that I did here, adding in textiles and all of that, and just have fun with it and go and play. Again, enjoy your day. Continue to stay safe and healthy as always. And remember, enjoy the process. Just have fun. See if it works. And if it doesn't, it's just paper. So, guys, take care. Love you all. I'll talk to you in the next one.